language focus. Relative clauses. Who and whom. Who and whom are used to replace persons, but whom is used only in two cases: when it replaces an object or with a preposition. But who can replace a subject or an object, as in the following examples. This is the woman, she owns the house. In order to join these two sentences, we can say, this is the woman who owns the house. I was talking to Ali. I'd met him only once before. I was talking to Ali, who or whom I'd met only once before. Which is used to replace things or objects. The job was very tiring. He applied for it a week ago. The job which or that he applied for a week ago was very tiring. The job for which he applied a week ago was very tiring. Whose is used for position. The man felt very sad. His wife died in the accident. The man whose wife died in the accident felt very sad. Defining and non-defining relative clauses. We have two kinds of relative clauses. The first is called defining and the second is called non-defining. And this can be replaced or can be understood from the following examples. My brother who lives in London is a doctor. And my brother who lives in London is a doctor. The difference between the two sentences. The first sentence, the relative clause here gives essential information about the subject, so it cannot be omitted. But in the second information, we knew that the relative clause here gives extra information about the subject, so it can be omitted. And the non-defining relative clause is always put between two commas, but the defining cannot be put between two commas. Omission of the relative pronoun. We have different cases in which we can omit the relative pronoun. They are: before a passive structure. The book was made into a film. It was written 20 years ago. We join them saying, the book which was written 20 years ago was made into a film. And when we omit the relative pronoun, we say, the book written 20 years ago was made into a film. The second case is before a preposition. The book is about famous writers. It's on the second shelf. We join them saying, the book which is on the second shelf is about famous writers. And we omit the relative pronoun saying, the book on the second shelf is about famous writers. The third case, it's before a noun or an adjective plus a noun. John Smith was interviewed on TV. He's a famous runner. We join them saying, John Smith, who is a famous runner, was interviewed on TV. And when we omit it, we say, John Smith, a famous runner, was interviewed on TV. And the last case, when the relative pronoun replaces an object. The officer treated me well. I met him at the police station. The officer whom I met at the police station treated me well. And when we omit whom, we say, the officer I met at the police station treated me well. Choose the correct answer. My pen friend space lives in Sweden, is studying biology at university. The answer is who? Aisha space father is a well-known doctor, is my best friend. The answer is whose? My brother space lives in New York, is going to visit us soon. The answer is that. Fruit space rippens on tree tastes best. The answer is that. Our flat space is on the fifth floor, overlooks the Nile. The answer is which? Find the mistake in each of the following sentences, then write them correctly. Alexandria, when my mother was born, is in northern Egypt. The mistake is when, and the correction is where. The thing who annoyed me is that he didn't lend me. The mistake is who, and the correction is which. He said something very cruel. For that, I think he should apologize. The mistake is that, and it should be which. Cleopatra, whom was very beautiful, was the last pharaoh of Egypt. The mistake is whom, and the correction is who. 1837 was the year where Victoria became Queen of Britain. The mistake is where, and it should be when. Thanks for listening. With Nafham, learn easily and simply.